Here at Knockhill we normally give you a touring car driver's guide of what Knockhill circuit's like to overtake on and race on, but today we're doing a little bit of a different thing. We've got JCW Mini driver Joe Tanner and front-runner Max Coates. Sorry Joe, that's how it goes here. Guys, you arrive down the street here, it's flat out, it's top speed. It's a little bit undulating coming in here, Max, but pick a braking point and tell us how to get through Duff's Dip.
So we would be braking somewhere near the end of the blue triangle. Well, I'd hope to be braking anyway. Anything after that looks a bit scary. So you come into here, it's blind, and as you can see from the camera angle, there's not a lot you can see past the apex. So realistically, you're rolling off the brakes just before you turn in, back to power, and praying that nobody's sat over the apex waiting to meet you.
Joe, what's the important part of Duff's Dip? Is it the top, or is it carrying speed through? Is it the bottom?
It's definitely the top. As Ian Forrest always said to me, the top is where the lap time is and the bottom's just recovering the speed you've taken to the top of it. I'm just looking back there, actually, the first time I've thought about where do we actually brake. I'm trying to think back to last year, and I think it is the pit lane exit somewhere around about there in the dry conditions that we brake. And it's the quickest corner we have in Scotland. You don't lose a lot of speed into here. It's deceiving because when you come in, it's blind, so you think it was Alan Kirkcaldy who told me that. Give Alan a shout out. Yeah, if it was flat and you could see the exit, you wouldn't even think about it, but it's just a kink. But because it disappears out of view, it makes you slow down too much. And that's the main thing you need to remember, is just to get your foot off the brake and just roll as much as you can in here. But it's probably my favourite corner, to be fair. I'm not traditionally the most brave driver, but I do like going down here, actually. It's quite good fun.
Last year Joe was on pole, so there is no pressure. Right, we're going to go to the next corner, guys. So you ready? 3, 2, 1. Whoa, okay. Right, okay, so we've come from the top of the hill, Duff's Dip. We've made our way through Leslie's. We're now at turn 3, which is McIntyre's. This is a great overtaking spot, but you've got to try and surprise the person in front of you, Joe, and you've got to set it up at Leslie's, am I correct?
Yeah, this takes a mistake at the top of the hill to get underneath someone in here. In the Scottish Minis, this was the place to do it, but in these things, you're travelling so quick, the braking's not that long, and it's not my first choice of places to stick it up the inside. The best thing to do is to make them defend. I shouldn't be saying this before the race weekend, but try to make them defend, get back across and get a good turn in, and try to get underneath them before you get to Butchers. But Max knows all about that. Yeah,
Max, tell us about Butchers, the next corner down here. You've got a bit of history there.
I'm not sure it was necessarily, well, yeah, it probably was my history, to be fair, but yeah, it is a tight corner to try and make a move at, but nevertheless, we're on a racetrack and any corner is an overtaking opportunity. So, like Joe said, you've got to set a move up on the exit, get up the inside of them, and find yourself sliding away along before you get to the corner.
So what would you do if I tried to do that to you then on Sunday? If I tried to get you to set it up on the inside, how would you cover it?
What, if you were trying to come up the inside here?
Yeah. Would you defend, or would you realise it wasn't real?
I don't know. You'd have to see on the day, but I know what I would be doing.
Would it end over there in the fence somewhere?
You would possibly, and then we can do another interview over there. No, you got to leave a car width. You know, Knockhill is a track that is fast, it is leery. There's many overtaking opportunities, but you've got to respect each other, and without that, we'll see some shunts on Sunday.
One of the many things that we sometimes see is people coming through the left-hander and defending and forcing the other car onto the grass on the way into McIntyre's.
Yeah.
And that usually ends with contact about here and then cars in the gravel trap. However, these two guys, they've both done some great overtakes at this corner. Joe has given away his trade secret. Max, well, he's got history at Butchers, so we're going to bypass Butchers and go straight to the chicane now. So you ready, guys? 3, 2, 1. And now we arrive at the Black Circle chicane. It's good, this, isn't it? Futuristic. But the question of the Black Circle chicane is, Max, to curb or not to curb?
Oh, to curb, absolutely. Well, actually, probably not to curb, probably to jump the curb, really. As you can see, we've got this big red sausage curb on the right-hand side. We'll be all over that on all 3 days.
Big red sausage curb, Joe. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't use it. I swear to God, I don't use it.
You don't?
Honestly, I don't
lying.
use it. I swear, honestly, I have used it on a mistake, but I don't use the red bit. Yeah, I just find it just starts to bounce, and then I can't open the throttle. But you carry on, you'll be all right.
This was the pole man last year saying that he doesn't use the sausage curb.
I would have followed him out in FP1 and see what he does.
Honestly, I swear, I use the first one for sure, and then I try to open the throttle in between the two curbs, but I'm pretty sure that I don't use it.
Yeah.
And what about the exit? Out to the curb, onto the green, right to the end of the curb, back on up to Clark?
Yeah, use as much of it as you can get away with, basically. Open the corner up as much as possible. Try and keep out the gravel, and to be honest, from a race perspective rather than a quali perspective, it's more about being consistent and not going in the gravel once, rather than trying to be absolutely crystal clear and precise on your lap every time.
Are you thinking about setting somebody up for Clark Corner coming through here?
Not at this stage. I'm just trying to survive at this point. But once I get halfway up the back straight, then there is an opportunity to do something up at Clark's. But I'm not going to tell you because he's listening. He probably knows anyway. And
I'll
probably
be setting him up back there, though.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there's a few opportunities as you go up into Clark's, I think, to try to do something.
Shall we head to Clark's, guys?
Go on then.
Sound.
3, 2, 1. Woo! Oh, wait. Sorry. Thank you. Clark's Corner. A possible overtaking point just here. But guys, you're in the race cars. Joe, we're back to you. Front row Joe, you're thinking about it halfway up the back straight, you've said to us. But if you pass into Clark's, do you leave yourself vulnerable on the exit?
Yeah, every time, and you need to be aware of that to try to, I'm giving away a lot here, to try to stop it a little bit, because I've done it a few times, but it really needs a mistake on the exit of the chicane to make it work properly. If not, if you both get a good exit from the chicane, there's not a lot of time on the brake pedal here, so it's not that easy to do, to be fair.
Is it a good spectating spot to see an overtake?
Oh yeah. But to see an overtake gone wrong, it's a good place.
Max, do you like this corner? Do you like Clark's? A lot of people struggle with it because it's got a good camber on the way in, but disappears at the top.
Yeah, it's a tough one, and especially using the minis. We've got quite a lot of power, a lot of torque, so when you come over the brow of the hill, the front tends to go light, which is another reason that makes an overtake difficult here. But like Joe said, it sort of relies on somebody getting it wrong back there at the chicane, and actually, if you're stood here at Clark's, you get a mega view of whatever's gone wrong out of the chicane, so it's a great place to watch.
Yeah, from the stands, it's probably one of the best spectating spots you can see. You see Duff's, Leslie's, McIntyre's, the exit chicane, and Clark's. As a spectator, which one of these would you want to be cheering on coming into Clark's? Who knows? Shall we head to the hairpin, boys?
Let's go.
3, 2, 1. Woo! So we come to Clark's. It's an important corner on the way in. It's an overtaking point, but it's also, you've got to get a good run out of it because it's onto a straight. Is this the braking point for the hairpin? Is this where you're braking? Are you brave enough, Max, to get to the 100-metre board?
Not in FP1. We should be come qualifying and race day, but just behind where we are with the camera there, it is proper bumpy. So you get over them in the wrong way, and it can set the car up for disaster on the braking zone into the hairpin.
It's quite a short run in here, Joe. You know, you've got the initial kind of change of bumps back there, but the braking zone itself, is it flat enough?
Yeah, it's fine. I'm just past the 50 metres before I release the throttle and get it slowed down, and I'll be doing that at first lap of FP1. And then it's just a case of trying to get it stopped and into the hairpin.
In all seriousness, we will pick you up the catch fence if that is the case.
No, you can't go anywhere near that.
It probably
to
is
be
the
honest,
best place to overtake at Knockhill.
To be honest, you can be the hero on the brakes here, but you just pay for it on exit. Honestly, last year I was probably, and I'm just trusting that board.
Clark's, I think.
Sorry, I don't know where I was going. I'm just trusting that board's in the same place as it was last year, but it was kind of just beforehand. I think I was actually putting the brakes on, if I'm being honest.
What Joe doesn't know is I'm moving it back down there by about
Yeah,
20 foot overnight.
Yeah.
It's one of the benefits of staying in the RV. You can move the track markers.
So you're coming in here in the last lap. You're in the lead, Max. And
Yeah.
Joe's behind you. What is the plan? Is it white line on the inside, or do you then leave yourself lame on the exit?
Yeah, I'm sending it on the inside. If I'm in the lead and Joe's behind me, we're going on the inside and we're going to do a fist bump over the line.
With me slightly ahead, or?
To be honest, if me and you are coming out of there side by side,
mate.
I'll be a very happy boy on Sunday.
But Joe, if Max does defend on the win, can you go back to your McIntyre spot and try and get the cut back to the outside for the cut through the corner?
Yeah, if you go too tight on the inside here, you're stationary on the exit, and anyone with half a brain can take a decent turn and go out wide and come back underneath.
I
Not
forgot
saying you
mine
don't
at the
have half a
chicane.
brain, but it is like if you can defend it so easy on the way in, but you're really vulnerable up the hill on the exit.
And what we'll do now is we'll take you to the hill that Joe just talked about and show you how steep the actual hairpin is. So you ready, guys?
Let's
1,
go.
2, 3. Okay, so we're at the top of the hairpin hill here, and we're going to show you just how steep it is, because Joe, front row Joe, it's all the way at the bottom of the hill there. So he's going to run up the hill, and then Max, we're going to interview him when he gets to the top, and you see just how out of breath he is. It's a steep old slog, isn't it?
It is. This overtaking manoeuvre has worked a lot better for me because Joe's still not out of the corner yet.
First time I've run in years.
Okay, so I'll let you stand next to Max for that one. How steep is that hill?
He's actually out of
Steep, yeah,
breath.
no, I'm seriously unfit. Yeah, no, it's quite steep to be fair. It doesn't feel like that in the car, but a bit lightheaded to be honest.
Don't have a moment on us.
He's been painting all day.
Well, this is an important part of the corner because you have then got to, like so many things in Knockhill, leads into the next part of it. You've got the straight. It's another big hill, good exit here, and plan a move into Duff's, Max.
Absolutely. The hill on the way in, as proven by Joe, can help to slow the car down. But the exit is important, and again with the minis, it's interesting on the exit. I was about to give something away there. I think Joe probably knows what I mean. So Clearly not from his face.
No, I do.
Yeah, you know, it's a bit of a difficult exit, this corner, especially in our cars, and that definitely leaves people susceptible going up the hill towards turn 1.
And your take?
Big bump somewhere here-ish. You can't even see it, but when you're in the car, you do feel that bump. And then there's a variety of gears that you can use through here, I think.
You two guys have now gone all guarded on each other.
Yeah, I've decided I'm not going to give anything to Max here. No, but there's a variety of different gears, wet to dry, and even in the dry. Some work in some circumstances, some don't. So, yeah, if you come down here and listen, you'll hear some different downshifts.
Do you use the curb here, Joe, or not?
Yes.
Yeah, what one though?
No, I don't use this one, to be fair, but I do use the exit. You have to use the exit because you need to open it up somehow. And then it's just a case of trying to get back across to the middle as you go up over the top of the hill.
It's also a fabulous place to pull off an overtaking move because look at the spectators that we're going to have. The grandstands will be full down there, the Hairpin hill. You can make yourself look like a real hero at the Hairpin at the last lap.
You can, or you can look like a fool. Will I bring it up?
No, let's not do that. Let's not do that. So,
what's that bit over there?
Yeah, that's where Dunk landed, waving to his mum on the last lap of a Formula Ford race about 10 years ago. But I'll try not to do that on Sunday.
Yeah, that wasn't one of the highlights of Duncan Vincent's motor racing career. Anyway, let's move on. That's a quick
how
look.
I laughed.
That's a quick look at Knockhill Racing Circuit in a JCW Mini with these guys. They're both front runners. Joe was on pole here last year, and Max, well, he certainly lit the place on fire, that's for sure. Come along and watch them this weekend, see how they get on. You can do that by going into Knockhill's website, knockhill.com, go to the events pages and look for the touring car page itself. Buy tickets, book them on there. Get them in advance, arrive, get a nice easy scan in, get your favourite place, and one of these jokers, I think they'll both be on the podium, they'll both be at the front end of the grid. Best of luck, guys, thank you very much, okay?
Cheers, well done.
Bye.
Can we do a spin?
Oh, you watched it twist your ankle. What way are we walking?
We're going to do a spin. We'll end up facing the wrong way.
Right,
Yeah.
you go that way, and you run past them, right?
Okay.
Right,
What?
Right, so you just run that way.
But that bit's not going to be in it.
No, you just disappear.
Yeah, because
Alright,
it will just
okay,
show a still
okay.
shot of us not here.
3, 2, 1. But the question of the black circle chicane is, Max, to curb or not to curb?
Oh, to curb, absolutely. Well, actually, probably not to curb, probably to jump the curb, really. As you can see, we've got this big red sausage curb on the right-hand side. We'll be all over that on all 3 days.
Big red sausage curb, Joe. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't use it. I swear to God, I don't use it.
You don't?
Honestly, I
He's
don't
lying.
use it. I swear, honestly, I have used it on a mistake, but I don't use the red bit.
I'm just going to ride every curb.
You don't use it? Well,
Do you not? Yeah, do you not use it?
well,
I use it.
Do you drive?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's really cheeky. Do you use it?
No, I'm just here for a walk.
I don't know if I've run the Jeanette, but I've done before.
What unit is it in?
Supercar.
Or the proper one?
Yeah, we're right now.
Well, that...
Do you genuinely not hit that?
Swear to God, man. Don't use it.
You're the only person here this weekend that doesn't use it.
It just goes bang, and then you can't open the throttle.
It's been like a smack.
Yeah.
My
That one,
junior
yeah.
kid, I was like, go
Oh
more
no,
to
that's
the
different
right.
because they're soft. The juniors use it, but in the
The juniors is filled in because the juniors
yeah,
have
they
got a big
were
hole
hooking
at the back of it.
but with the mini I don't touch it.
But if you hit it hard enough, you just kind of levitate, hover.
I tell you what, that's a weird one, right? Because with the juniors, they sort of take off and then land before they take off again.
You've
They
got
go
to not
like
use too much of that one.
bounce, bounce.
If you use too much of that one, it sets the car on emotion like that going
Mm.
through.
Would you stand there for the first mini race for 100 grand?
No.
And you can't flinch.
No.
You gotta take it.
No.
Okay, you show me. You tell me if I use that curb.
Aye.
Yeah.
So,
I might have touched it.
You really touched it, you're all over it.
Nah, never touched it.
That's exactly what I do.
I'm a
You
lot
just do a bit
more
faster.
accurate in my head. I think I might have touched
You're
it.
living in La La Land.